Pragma autonomous transaction. Then here set server output. So now I want to develop first child procedure. Okay, I want to develop one child procedure. Then here this is our table. Okay, so it is already updated. Then we can drop it. Create this is our table, right? Now I want to develop a child procedure. I want to develop a child procedure. Create or replace procedure. Child procedure is cursor name is select star from emp. Yeah. Then next we can define one variable begin. Then here we want to open cursor loop fetch c1 into I exit when c1 percentile not found. Then if I dot DBT number equal to 10, then update table set salary equal to I dot salary plus 1100 and where emp number equal to I dot emp number. Next we end if and end loop and then close C1. Before close that we want to apply the commit. But when we are apply the commit in child procedure, we must use the Pragma autonomous transaction. That is the reason. Pragma autonomous transaction. Now this Pragma autonomous transaction will be control these transaction within the procedure only. Okay. Then next we can go for end. Autonomous. The procedure is created. Now we develop a main procedure. Then create or replace procedure name main procedure is done. Here I want to delete some transaction. Delete from PT as where DBT number equal to 10th record already we updated. Okay, we already updated, then we can go for 20. Again we use the 10, we are getting confusion, because of which is the transaction is done. Then next, here we can call the child procedure. The child procedure is CP. Now we can apply the rollback and end. Okay, now we execute the main procedure. Then here we can check it. So the data does not deleted, and but data is updated. That is the reason. Clear? Are we clear on this? But in your material program, it is just example only. It is not giving the clarity. So that is the reason I want to build this. Okay. If you want to write it, then you can write it this both procedures. And go for function. Here, function is a named PLSQL block which is used to solve particular task, and by default function return a single value. So means it is solved to particular task. Basically, at which scenario we want to use this one. Okay. While using procedure, we return a value. Right. We are going to return a value while using out parameters. Okay. So the procedure may or may not return a value. May or may not return. If the value is required, then we can return it. So now also we develop the so many procedures, child procedure and main procedure. That both procedure, have you written any value? Does not return a value, just it is executed only, right? If you want to get the value from the procedure, we can use the out parameters. We can use the out parameter, but function not like that. The function default is having a return value. The function, suppose without writing a return statement in a function, the function does not execute. The function does not execute. Say example here, first of all, we want to check it. Once I am using the procedure, return statement in my procedure. Okay, let it be. Yeah. First we work with the functions. After that we can compare with the procedure and function what happened while writing the return statement in procedure, while writing the return statement in function. Okay, then we can get the clarity. Function default is having the single value, return a single value. Function is allowed to write multiple return statement. Function is allowed to write multiple return statement, but it is execute only first return statement. We can write it a number of return statement in a function. Okay. Then if you want to write to return 1, return 2, return 3, something like that. We can write number of return statement in a function, but the function always return first value. First return statement. The function always execute the first return statement only. Then here function can execute in 4 ways. In procedure, whereas in procedure we can execute only 3 ways. What are the ways? Anonymous block, execute command, and call. Okay. But in function, additionally we have one more session that is called as a select statement. We can execute the function from select statement also. Say example, sum, is it function or not? Average, minimum, maximum, count, these are all the functions, right? These are all the functions, right? So each and every function have a different name, right? Have you used that function from select statement or not? Yes. Definitely. That word will be keep in your mind. You can easily remember this sentence, right? Definitely we can execute the function from select statement. Okay, it is a additional way while execute the function in program, means SQL program. But procedure we can execute in 3 ways. We cannot execute it in select statement. Okay, then now function also having 2 types, means Same function specification and function body, same as procedure specification and procedure body. In procedure specification, what exactly we write it? Declare the variables, cursors and parameters and what is that? Exceptions, right? The same scenario we are going to specify the functions. Okay. In function specification, we are specifying the name of the function and the type of the parameters, whereas in function body we are solving the actual talk. Same like, same as our procedure. Okay. There. Now here observe this one. I want to develop a simple function. Create function, function name, the function name and having the parameter, sorry, variable. Okay. Here this variable means is nothing but a, it is not a variable, it is a parameter. Okay. Parameter and here return. We want to expect the value. Okay. This return is a keyword which is a default assigned in our function. Can you tell me the syntax of a procedure? Procedure name is start with the program. But here observe this one. Function name, return varchar2 and is. Return varchar2. So in the syntax level we have a keyword, return keyword. In procedure have you find out the return keyword? No. Right? Then let it be here. Observe this one. Now I have a function. I want to develop a simple function. Create or replace function name. Okay. I define one parameter. It is a parameter. We want to pass this parameter at the execution time. Okay. Then here suppose say example it is a parameter a. Okay. Or else we can give any sentence. Yeah, nothing for a. It is a varchar2. Next, we didn't completed our function syntax. Return. So here we can expect the varchar2. Okay. We can possible to return number or else we can possible to return character or else we can possible to return date. We can possible to return number from the function. We can possible to return character from the function. We can possible to return date from the function. So here observe this one. We have a 2 char and 2 date. What are they? Functions. Have you execute that function from select statement or not? Select 2 char something like that. Okay. And decode and case. That are our functions or not? Replace. Is it function or not? So while using that function, have you written the character from the select statement or not? Then same like that. So what are the functions we are using? So here while using function we can return number. While using function we can return character. While using function we can return date. We can return date. Right? So now I want to write a program. Yeah. Is begin. Okay. Then here I are going to apply the logic. What is the logic we want implemented? Just I am going to return the parameter which is we specify in our program. Okay. Then return a and will be close that. Let it be check it. Function is created. Now I want to execute this function. So what are the ways are there? Basically 4 ways. We have 4 ways. First will be checking with anonymous block. Anonymous block. So here declare. Okay, we define the variable. So it is a varchar2 Okay. Then next begin. Then here we want to execute the function. What is our function name? F1. F1 of A. Okay. F1 of A. Then here, now observe this one. When I execute this function here, 1 second. We define a variable. Here I can assign the some message. Welcome. Okay. I can store this welcome message in my variable. That variable I am calling in my function. Now I can close it. Once I execute this program, what happened? Will we expect the yes. Function, it is not a procedure. Then 1 second. Oh, sorry. Function will be specifying to the variable. So here, that is the variable is there. 1 second. It is not a correct way. Then here. So A will be specified that. Here the function will be executed. Okay. First I define a variable. In that variable I can execute the function. Which is the function is executed and return a value. That value will be kept in variable. Finally I want to print the value from the variable. First we can define the variable. In that variable we can assign our function. So at the time of execution the function is executed and assign the value into variable. That variable finally will be printed in our program. Right? Then next one is bind variable. Next one is bind variable. So how we can go to bind? So now I want to define variable. Variable A is a varchar 2 of 10. Okay. Then now I want to execute this function. Execute this function. So here how we can execute that function? Specific function. Then specify. We have a yes. Begin. And that respected bind variable will be assigned the function F1 of welcome. Then end it. Okay. Then execute that. Procedure is completed successfully. But here we are not printed. Now we are going to do that. Print A. Finally we can keep the value in where? Bind variable. Okay. Host variable. And another way is execute command. But in this execute command here what exactly we want to use? dbms output dot println. Here execute output line. Here we want to execute our function F1. Then here I am going to give the welcome. Right. Then next the last one is we want to use select statement. Select function. Then here welcome to apps from dual. This is the main advantage of this one, which is the function is going to return a value. That function will be specifying from select statement. So what is the difference basically in procedure and function? In procedure, we cannot possible to execute this. Suppose, say example here, observe already we done procedures, right? P1. Okay. The P1 doesn't have any parameter. Okay. From DL, observe this one. Invalid identifier. But it is a procedure. The procedure already there. While execute that procedure, EX AC P1 executed or not. Suppose main procedure from DL, but we can possible to execute function. Please keep in mind, it's a very important point. So can we, so the interview point of they're asking the question is, can we execute the procedure from select statement? No. We never possible. We can always execute the procedure from three ways only: anonymous and find variable and execute command. But function we can execute in 4 ways. Additionally, we can possibly execute in select statement. Then okay, now I can stop and will be continuing the next.